Hello everyone, this is Agent Ross and welcome back to channel. In the last episode, we separated the player health bar from the target health bar. That gives us a much cleaner HUD structure. In this episode, we are taking the next step by adding floating health bars above enemies in the world. We will project 3D world position into 2D screen space and only show those bars when they matter, like when enemy is currently targeted or was recently damaged. This keeps the UI readable, efficient, and easy to expand later. First, we need to create a new component. Under the component folder, we are going to create a new file, and we are going to call this file HealthBarVisibility.js. Then we will type export class HealthBarVisibility extends component constructor super. Then we will say this dot show timer equals 0. This component stores a small timer for health bar visibility. If an enemy gets damaged, we can keep its floating health bar visible for a short time instead of hiding it instantly. Let's make a comment here saying seconds remaining. Next, we will go to the dummy factory. Under here, we're going to import health bar visibility. Then right under health, we are going to say world.add component health bar visibility. The dummy now has a tiny visibility component, so we can show its floating health bar only when it's relevant. That means this feature is no longer hard-coded to the UI system alone. Instead, the entity itself stores whether its bar should remain visible. And we are missing a new keyword here, so let's add that and save it. Next, we are going to add a new system file. We will call this file HealthBarVisibilitySystem.js. This file will import system, query, and health bar visibility. Then we are going to type export class HealthBarVisibilitySystem extends system update. Inside the update function, we're going to say constant entities equals query dot entities with world and health bar visibility. For constant e of entities, constant visibility equals world dot get component health bar visibility. Visibility dot show timer equals mat dot max 0 visibility dot show timer minus delta time. This system is intentionally very small. Its job is just to count the visibility timer down every frame. We are not making this system listen to damage events directly, because in our current architecture, damage events are already being consumed elsewhere. Next, we are going to go to the damage system. Inside here, we're going to import health bar visibility, and then we are going to scroll down. Right after the health reduction, we're going to say constant visibility equals world.get component event.target health bar visibility. If visibility.show timer equals 2.0. This is the important architecture detail for our project, because our event bus uses a draining queue model. If two systems both try to consume the same event type, only one of them will actually see it. So instead of creating another event consumer, we refresh the floating bar timer directly inside the damage system, right where damage is actually applied. That keeps the behavior reliable and avoids fighting the queue. Next, we are going to create a new system file, and we are going to call this file FloatingHealthBarUISystem.js. This file will import 3 system, query, transform, health, name, player control, current target, dead, and health bar visibility. After that, we are going to type export class FloatingHealthBarUISystem extends system constructor. It will have camera, and then we'll call the super. And inside the constructor, we're going to say this.camera equals camera. This._wired equals false. This._root equals null. This._bars equals new map. And this is entity bar elements. Then we will say this._temp equals new 3.vector3. This._view temp equals new 3.vector3. After the constructor, we're going to create the update function. And inside the update function, we're going to say if it's not this._wired, this._create root, this._wired equals true. And after this if statement, we're going to say constant players equals query.entities with world player controlled current target. Constant current target entity equals players.length greater than 0 question mark world.getComponent player 0. and current target. Then we say dot entity, otherwise null. Then we say constant entities equals query dot entities with world, transform, health, name, and health bar visibility. Constant scene equals new set. For constant e of entities, if world.hasComponent player controlled, continue. If world.hasComponent dead, continue. Constant transform equals world.getComponent transform. Constant health equals world.getComponent health. Constant name equals world.getComponent name. Constant visibility equals world.getComponent HealthBarVisibility. If health.current less than or equals to 0, this dot underscore hide bar, we pass the e, then continue. After this if statement, we're gonna say constant should show equals e is current target entity or visibility show timer greater than 0. If it's not should show, this dot underscore hide bar, then continue. Then we will say constant projected equals this dot underscore project screen, and it's gonna have transform.x, transform.y, let's say plus 2.2, and transform.z. If it's not projected dot visible, this dot underscore hide bar, then continue. After that, we will say constant bar equals this dot underscore get or create bar, and we will pass the e. Scene.add, and we're gonna pass the e as well. Then we will say bar dot root dot style dot display equals block. Bar dot root dot style dot left equals, now we're gonna say $ projected dot x, and in here we're gonna say px. Bar dot root dot style dot top equals, we will say $ projected dot y px. Constant pct equals health.max greater than 0, question mark, health.current, health.max, otherwise 0. Constant clamped equals math.max 0, math.min 1, and pct. Bar.name.text content equals name.value, bar.fill.style.width equals, and we're gonna say $ clamped times 100%. Bar.text.text content equals, and we will say $ health.current and $ health.max. After that, we're gonna say if e is current target entity, bar.root.classList.add is target, else bar.root.classList.remove is target. And after this for loop, we're gonna create another for loop. We're gonna say for constant entity bar of this dot underscore bars. If it's not seen dot has entity, bar dot root dot style dot display equals none, bar dot root dot class list dot remove is target. Now we can go ahead and create the function for create root. So for that, we're gonna say underscore create root, let root equals document.getElementById floating health bars. If it's not root, root equals document.createElement, and we pass div root.id equals floating health bars, document.body.appendChild, and we'll pass the root. And finally, we can say this._root equals root. Next, we are going to create another function. We're going to say underscore get or create bar. It will have entity. Then we will say let bar equals this._bars.get entity. If bar, return bar. Constant root equals document.createElement. We'll create div. Then we're going to say root.className equals floating health bar. Then we need to create the name, bg, fill, and text. So for that, we say constant name document.createElement, and we create the div. And same thing, class name will be floating health bar name. And for bg, class name is floating health bar bg. For fill, class name is floating health bar fill. And for the text, class name is floating health bar text. After that, we're going to say bg.appendChild. We pass the fill, root.appendChild name. root.appendChild bg root.appendChild text this._root.appendChild root. Then we're going to say bar equals, and we create the object saying root name bg fill text this._bars dot set entity and bar, and finally we return the bar. Next we need to create the hide bar function. So we're going to say underscore hide bar. It will have entity constant bar equals this._bars dot get entity if bar dot root dot style dot display equals none, bar dot root dot class list dot remove is target. Then we're going to create another function. We will say underscore projector screen. It will have x, y, and z. This dot underscore temp dot set x, y, and z. Then we need to reject the points behind the camera. So we're going to say reject points behind the camera. This dot underscore view temp dot copy will pass the this dot underscore temp dot apply matrix 4 this dot camera dot matrix world inverse if this dot underscore view temp dot set greater than or equals to 0, return visible is false, x is 0, y is 0. Then we will say this dot underscore temp dot project and we'll pass the this dot camera. Then we're gonna say constant visible equals this dot underscore temp dot set greater than or equal -1 and this dot underscore temp dot set less than or equal 1 and this dot underscore temp dot x greater than or equal -1.1 and this dot underscore temp dot x less than or equal 1.1 and this dot underscore temp dot y greater than or equal -1.1 and this dot underscore temp dot y less than or equal 1.1. After that we will say constant screen x equals this dot underscore temp dot x times 0.5 plus 0.5 times window dot inner height. Constant screen y equals minus this dot underscore temp dot y times 0.5 plus 0.5 times window dot inner height, and this first one needs to be inner width. And finally we can return visible x is screen x and y is screen y. This is the main system for the episode. Each frame, it looks for entities that have a transform, health, name, and our new visibility component. Then it decides whether each one should actually show a floating bar. For now, the rules are simple. Show the bar if the entity is current target, or show it if the recent damage timer is active. Then we project a point above the entity into screen space and move a normal DOM element to that screen position. So even though the bar feels like world space UI, it's still just HTML, which keeps the implementation much simpler. Next, we are going to add the CSS for the floating bars. Let's go to style.css. Right at the bottom, we are going to add floating health bars and floating health bar, floating health bar dot is target, and floating health bar name. And these are the settings for those. Then we can scroll down. We have floating health bar bg, floating health bar fill, and floating health bar text. And these are the settings for that. This gives us lightweight floating bars that feels like world space UI, even though they are still DOM overlays. That's nice middle ground. We get clear combat feedback in the world without needing to build a full 3D UI rendering system. Next, we are going to go to the main.js. We are going to import HealthBarVisibilitySystem and FloatingHealthBarUISystem. After that, we are going to scroll down. Right under the DamageSystem, we are going to say world.addSystem, new HealthBarVisibilitySystem. Then right under the target health UI system, we're going to say world.addSystem, new floating health bar UI system. And inside here, we're going to pass the camera. We want the visibility timer countdown to run after damage is applied. So the timer value is already refreshed when the UI updates. Then we place the floating health bar system near the rest of the HUD systems because it's still part of the UI layer even though it tracks world position. Now let's go ahead and save it. I'm going to make the game screen bigger. I'm going to go near the dummy. As you can see, when we got near the dummy, we can see the floating health bar as well. It's currently using the same logic as the middle health bar, so when we move out of the range, it will disappear as well. And with this setting, we currently can't test the visibility timer because our current combat target system is auto-selecting the nearest valid target within 12 units every frame. So the dummy becomes current target as soon as we enter that range. For testing, what we can do, we can go back to Visual Studio. Inside FloatingHealthBarUISystem, we are going to make a new line here. We will say constant should show equals visibility.showTimer greater than 0. And we're going to comment this out for testing. And let's go ahead and save it. We are going to go back near the dummy. And let's use an attack with F key. We could see the health bar appears and disappears after 2 seconds. We can press again. It appears for 2 seconds and disappears. You can choose whichever version you like. I'm going to go back and re-enable the previous version because right now I like to see the selected target health bar all the time. And that's episode 32. We now have a floating enemy health bars render above targets in the world. We are projected from world space into screen space, driven by ECS health data, and only shown when they are relevant, like when the target is selected or recently damaged. That gives combat much more immediate visual feedback while still keeping the UI architecture clean. In the next episode, we can build on this by improving target selection itself so targeting feels more intentional and less dependent on simple nearest target rules. If this was helpful, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you guys in the next episode. I'm Agent Russ. See you next time.